let's talk about the Democrats. There's a argument. There's an argument that the best frame against President Trump, because it applies not just to tariffs but to Doge, Social Security, Bobby Kennedy, is chaos. That Trump is about too much chaos, and that's not good for America's working families. Of course, Jeb Bush called Trump the chaos candidate. The notion that the chaos frame is the best frame to go against Trump has been around now for a decade. Dan, are you a fan of the chaos frame?
Yes, I am, because Trump barely won in 16. He barely lost in 20, and he barely won in 24. And he got wiped out in 18 and 22. It was less ideal for them in the midterms. Swing voters voted for him in just particularly 24 because they thought that he would lower inflation and be a better steward of the economy, period. DEI immigration was like not unimportant, but it wasn't the lead. This stuff is not what they signed up for. They did not sign up for the government being just bulldozed and reoriented. They did not sign up for a, all-out trade war with every country in the world and told, like, this is a little bit of pain that you're going to deal with for like a long-term solution. They were not told any of this. So I think if you're talking about winning elections, I think it's a good thing. We're going to have an alternative. I don't think it'll just be good enough to say he stinks. But I do think if you just look at the data and you looked at it in 20 over COVID, chaos around COVID hit people.
Sean, if you were the press secretary and you walked into the Oval and said, "Mr. President, the Democrats are coming after you because they say you represent chaos," what would he say?
He'd say, "Good." I mean, I a couple things on this. One, I think chaos is baked in a little. If you are waking up to the idea that Donald Trump is a little chaotic from time to time, then I hope that rock didn't hurt you that you've been sleeping under for the last 10 years. Two is he's not running again. And I think this is him. The second term is really him feeling unencumbered and free to make a lot of big decisions about the direction of the country, what he wants to do. And that's a very freeing thing for a politician. And then three, results matter. And we are here in April of an off year. And Trump has put a lot of political capital on the line. And if he is wrong, like all politicians, I think he'll pay the price. But if he is spectacularly right, this is where I think he will win. I mean, there's enough time where, even for all this bedwetting that happened at the beginning of the week, I looked under my 401k again last night and I was like, okay, we're back. It was a little rough Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but we're back. And I think in 60, 90 days, if we have achieved great things for the American people and this president turns around and says, I did it, I got this from China, I doubt whatever. And I mean, look, Dan's right. He generally gets to define what success looks like. But if there are demonstrable points on the board where he's gained market access or greater share or whatever, then I think this is going to be he will benefit from that. And that's the one thing that everyone always bets against Trump. And what I've learned over the last 8 years is that usually doesn't go well.
The only thing I'll say, though, is for everything you just said, Sean, there was enough chaos around Doge that they realized they needed to reel Elon in a little bit. So they leaked the stories that, he's going to be leaving. And we can debate whether that was the grand plan all along, but somehow they made sure to emphasize this point to the public. And the market spoke this week. And again, Trump says the quiet part out loud. Everyone got a little nervous, including the president, right? His hands started shaking on the putting green. Wasn't everyone else's, it was his, because it was his political future he was staring at. So the idea that he's got the kahunas and he's tough, the chaos message, not from us, but from the real, Main Street, is hitting him. So I actually think I give him credit. He's made course corrections.
Well, I'll give you credit. That was probably the best. The hand shaking on the putting green. I think I may, just for the record, I mean,
the yips, that's where it comes from. It's Masters weekend. Come on.
Yeah, no. But as you know, you give credit once, and then by the time you use it again the second time, you can say it was yours.
One thing I loved yesterday is the president put out a statement about the Masters. and just like how much he loves the Masters.
I was wondering, by the way, if he was going to go to it.
There's maybe he will.